Let us chant the first 10 verses of chapter 5. Arjuna Uvacha Sannyasam karmanam Krishna Punaryogam cha shamsasi Yachreyayetayorekam Tanme bruhi sunishchitam Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sannyasah karma yogascha Nishreyasakaravubhau Tayostu karma sannyasat Karma yogo vishishyate Nyeyasan nitya sannyasi Yo nadveshti na kankshati Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho Sukham bandhat pramuchyate Sankhya yogau prathak balaha Pravadanti na panditaha Yekamapyastitha samyag Ubhayor vindhate palam Yat sankyai prapyate sthanam Tadyogairapi gamyate Yekam sankyam cha yogam cha Yah pashyati sa pashyati Sannyasastu mahabaho Dukkhamaptumayogataha Yoga yukto munir brahma Nachirena digacchati Yoga yukto vishuddhatma Vijitatma jitendriyaha Sarva bhutatma bhutatma Kurvanna pinha lipyate Naiva kinchit karomiti Yukto manyeta tatvabhet Pashyan shrinvan sprishan jigran Ashnan gachan swapan shwasan Pralapan visrajan grinhan Unmishan nimishan napi Indriyānindriyārtheshu Vartanta iti dhārayan Brahmanyādhāya karmāni Sangam tyaktva karoti yaha Lipyate na sapapena Padma patramivambhasa
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavik Vishavahe Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We are starting with chapter 5, Karma Sannyasa Yoga. The yoga of renunciation of action. Chapter 5. The entire Bhagavad Gita is explanation of Tattvam-asi. We have seen that. Whole Bhagavad Gita is talking about Tattvam-asi. And also we have seen the Gita is divided into these topics. The 18 chapters are divided into 3 sets of each. The first 6, the middle 6, and the last 6. So the entire Bhagavad Gita we have seen is talking about Tattvamasi, and the Tattvamasi itself is divided, the 18 chapters is divided into the three sets of 6 each. The first 6, the middle 6, and the last 6. So Tattvamasi, if you rearrange, if you rearrange, it becomes Tvam Tat Asi. Tattvamasi, if you rearrange, it's a poetic expression. Now, and then what is known as, we have to do the, what in Sanskrit is known as the Anvaya, and we have to segregate it and rearrange it so that in the order we understand. So Tattvamasi, if you rearrange, it becomes Tvam, you, Tat, that, Asi, is. So in Sanskrit, it becomes Tvam, Tat, Asi, if you rearrange it. The first 6 talks about Tvam, you. The second 6 talks about Tat, that. Because I said Tvam, Tat, Asi. So first 6 is about Tvam. The middle 6 is about Tat. The last 6 is about the union, the Aikyam, Asi. This is the 18 chapters. The flow of 18 chapters. Chapter 1, what happens? 2 friends meet. 2 friends happen to meet in chapter 1. That is Arjuna and Krishna. 2 friends meet, and what started as a friendly conversation in chapter 2 turned into a philosophical discourse. It was never intended to begin as a philosophical discourse. 2 friends meet. They met in chapter 1. 2 friends, it was the starting point of Bhagavad Gita is meeting of 2 friends only. And when 2 friends meet, what will happen? One friend was talking about his problems. That's all. One friend was talking about his problems to the other friend, not realizing who the other friend is. Not realizing who the other friend is. In chapter 2, what happened? One friend turned into a Sishya, another friend turned into a Guru. That happened in chapter 2. Sishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. So, from friendship, it matured into a Guru and Sishya. So what happens? Arjuna became the Sishya and Krishna became the Guru. Chapter 2. Sankhya Yoga, chapter 2. He gave the complete knowledge. From proper from chapter 3 onwards, the whatever we spoke about Tvam, Tat, Tvam, Asi, and all that starts from chapter 3. Chapter 2 is pure knowledge, Sankhya Yoga. Why he gives knowledge first is because knowing yourself is not an experience. Knowing yourself, we have equated knowledge here. You know you are here based on understand, not on experience. Carefully follow. Experience is in relation to something external. About your own self, it is knowledge. So about your own self, what he did, he gave the knowledge first. It is called Sankhya Sankhya Yoga. In that Sankhya Yoga, what he did? He said, Arjuna, understand this. Nasato vidyate bhavaha, nabhavo vidyate sataha. Upayorapi drishtontaha, tvanayos tattva darshibihi. Sankhya Yoga he gave first. Understand the Sat and Asat, Arjuna. Problems are, what is your problem? What are you crying? All problems are solved through knowledge. What is the knowledge? Nasato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha. The Asat will keep changing. Sat remains the same. What are you talking about? Asat keeps changing. Sat remains the same. So where is your focus? If you are focusing on Asat, you have to understand that it will keep constantly changing. If you focus on Sat, you understand that it is permanent. So either way, what are you grieving? What are you grieving for? Life doesn't offer grief. Life doesn't give situations that makes you grieve. Your lack of knowledge is that which causes grief. Arjuna was looking at Krishna. Just now from a friend I turned into a Sishya. Adukulla bouncer potunda, what to? If you put all 6 balls bouncer, what to do now? And then he tones down and says, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma palaheturbuhu ma te sangostva karmani. Okay, if that knowledge part of it is very difficult, Arjuna, mature yourself to understand this knowledge. Gain maturity to understand the knowledge. And what is the maturity? Your adhikara is in action. Your right is in action. Just because you have a choice, carefully follow. This is Karma Yoga. Just because you have a choice over the action doesn't mean you can determine the result. That's Karma Yoga. Very, very difficult to digest Karma Yoga. Just because you have a choice over the action doesn't mean you can determine the outcome. Karmani adhikaraha ma paleshu kadachin. Not your adhikara is in action. But I am choosing the action. No. Yes, you have to choose the action. Athoda it stops. Result is, just because you are doing the action, do not claim the result. You cannot claim not the result. You cannot choose the result. You can choose the action and you cannot choose the result. Arjuna is looking at Krishna saying, still nothing is clear. How can you say I have a choice over the action, but I do not have a choice over the result? This looks very unfair, no? This looks very unfair. Then he thought maybe for a wrong friend kitta surrender pandavun, Arjuna must be thinking. Maybe he is saying something which is not applicable or understandable, whatever it is. Then he goes into the description of a Sthita Prajna. Beautiful description of the Sthita Prajna, and all this explanation of chapter 2 established to Arjuna that he is in front of a person who is reliable, trustworthy. Are you able to follow till now? Chapter 5 I started somewhere. We are supposed to start with chapter 5. I don't know where I start. So he says, Krishna's credentials is established. Why Krishna's credential is established? Not Arjuna was having a doubt. It is difficult to understand the knowledge. It is difficult to understand the knowledge. He explained the sequence which Arjuna was not able to understand. What is the sequence? The sequence is called Sadhana Sadhya. Sadhana Sadhya, the sequence. What is the sequence? For a worldly person to turn spiritual, Karma Yoga is the end. He has to become a Karma Yogi first. From a worldly person to Karma Yogi. From Karma Yogi to Jnana Yogi. From Jnana Yogi to Moksha. This is the sequence. From a worldly person to Karma Yogi. From Karma Yogi to Jnana Yogi. From Jnana Yogi to Sannyasa. Which is what Sankhya Yoga is all about. Chapter 2. Obviously, Arjuna did understand. That is why he is asking this question. Should I practice Karma Yoga or should I practice Jnana Yoga? What should I choose? What should I choose? Should I choose Karma Yoga or should I choose Jnana Yoga? That is question in chapter. That is a question in chapter 3. Tadekam vada nischitya yena shreyoha mapnuyam. He said. The very fact that he is asking this question itself is an implication that he needs Karma Yoga. So what he did, he started talking about Karma Yoga. Chapter 3. In the discussion of Karma Yoga, you have to talk about Tvam, you, because it is the individual that is doing karma. Therefore, what happens? He starts with the discussion of you, the doer, to Karma Yoga, to you, the doer to Karma Yoga, and the Karma Yoga results in a Jnanam, which is what chapter 4, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, and the Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga will result in Karma Sannyasa Yoga, which is Yogi to Sannyasi, chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga, meditation, self-realization. Therefore, what had happened? From a ordinary depressed individual in chapter 2, in chapter 6, he matures to, he's supposed to. Yeah, supposed to. What is it? Self-realization. Meditation, self-realization. This is the first 6. Talking about Tvam, you. Therefore, you find in chapter 3, chapter 4, lot of discussion about Karmendriyas, Jnanendriyas, Panchakosha Viveka. All this he does. All this analysis he does about Jnanendriya, Karmendriya, Manas, Buddhi. All this he talks about. Since he is talking about Karma Yoga, what is important in Karma Yoga? Important in Karma Yoga is your effort. For Karma Yoga is entirely circling around Prayatna, the effort. So, the first 6 chapters, what is it talking about? Tvam. Tvam means 3. What are the 3? Jiva Swarupam, the nature of the individual. The nature of the individual as in senses, body, mind, intellect, prakriti, kriya karmani, gunai karmani, all that he spoke. I'm not going into the verses. If I go into the verses, there will be chapter 3. So I'm not going into the individual verses. I'm talking so he spoke about all that. He spoke about the Jiva Swarupam. And then he spoke about Karma Yoga is the way in which the individual can mature. Are you able to follow? That is the way in which the individual matures. In this maturity, what happens? sannyasa happens. A yogi turns into a sannyasi, which is chapter 5, karma sannyasa. Very small chapter, 29 verses. It's not a big. It's not a big chapter. Very small chapter containing 29 verses only. And the sannyasi is qualified for meditation, which is chapter 6. He is going to give the procedural details for meditation and what is meditation, how to meditate, and all that, culminating in self-realization. So, chapter 6, one set is over. What is one set? Of the 3 words, Tat, Tvam, Asi. Of the 3 words, Tat, Tvam, Asi, one is discussed. What is discussed? Tvam is discussed. Clear? Then what he does from chapter 7 to 12, the discussion about Tat. Tat means that. That means God. So from chapter 7 to 12, we will talk about God. That is why when we move from chapter 7 to 12, the chapter 3, 4, 5 time at the Madri 7 to 12 will not take time. We will just actually each and one class or chapter muchilla. In one class we can finish one chapter because he talks about Tvam. He talks about Tat. Tat means that. That means God. And that God, he talks about it in 2 ways again. One is in the Nirguna form. Another is in the Saguna form. He talks about in the Nirguna form and then he talks about it in the Saguna form. Saguna form is chapter 10 and 11 where he talks about Vibhuti Yoga and Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. Before going to Saguna, he talks about the Nirguna. So, God, the description of God in 6 chapters. 12th chapter culminating in Bhakti Yoga. Obviously, when Jiva Swarupam Sonamadri Ishvara Swarupam. Put a tabular column, it becomes easy. Jiva Swarupam, Ishvara Swarupam. If the emphasis is on Karma Yoga in the first 6, Bhakti Yoga will be the emphasis on the middle 6. Ishvara Upasana. Bhakti Yoga would be the emphasis. Not only Bhakti Yoga is the emphasis, he brings in one of the very confusing aspects. The confusing aspects is grace of God, the Anugraha part. Because in Karma Yoga, what is highlighted? I said already, in Karma Yoga, what is highlighted? The Prayatna, the effort is highlighted. In the second 6, he brings in the difficult part, the Anugraha. You can call it Anugraha, you can call it Kripa, you can call it blessing, grace, any word you can use. But then all connected with God. Anga pombodhu we will go very blank. Yeah. Chapter 3, 4 and 5 is the more interesting practical parts of the Gita. 7 to 12 varumbodhu we will go a bit blank. Because the whole discussion is about Tvam. The last 6, Asi. The last 6, Asi, is the Aikyam, which is the Jiva Swarupam is discussed separately. The Ishvara Swarupam is discussed separately. Tat is discussed separately. Tvam is discussed separately. And then he connects both. That is in chapter 15. Chapter 13 and chapter 14, the union happens. What is the union? The Aikya. Tat, Tvam, asi. As he is talking about this, what he does, he gives a lot of values to practice. He gives us a lot of values to practice. What are the values? The qualities of a bhakta, the qualities of the jnani, the qualities of the divine and the demonical. All these values in the traditional Vedantic word is called sadhana chatushtayam. All these words, all these values that you'll be calling as 35 qualities, 20 qualities. In the 16th chapter, the qualities of the divine and the demonical. The 17th chapter, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga. In the 18th chapter, all this put together is called sadhana chatushtayam. And then in the 18th chapter, what he does, he tells you how you can measure yourself. He tells you how you can measure yourself, which is the personality chart, where you find every aspect is divided into sattva, rajas and tamas, sattva, rajas and tamas, sattva, rajas and tamas, which is known as the personality chart. So knowledge becomes a, there is nothing that he didn't, there is nothing that he doesn't cover. Are you okay till now? In a textbook like Atma Bodha, apde process will be reversed. He will start with sadhana chatushtayam and he will build it up. He will start with sadhana chatushtayam and he will build up the crescendo. It will move up. Bhagavad Gita is exactly the reverse. He starts with the highest first and then he comes down. Since he starts with the highest first, that is where of the 3 authoritative textbooks of Vedanta, Bhagavad Gita is also one of the Prasthana Traya, the Upanishads, the Brahma Sutra. Traya means 3. 3 authoritative textbooks on Vedanta, the Upanishads, the Brahma Sutras, and then the Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because he didn't leave anything untouched. Everything he covers. Therefore, the focus on the last 6. What is the focus on the last 6? Jiva Swarupam, Ishvara Swarupam, Aikyam, the union. Karma Yoga, the focus. Upasana, Bhakti, the focus. Here, the focus is on Jnana Yoga. What is Jnana Yoga? Where he concludes it in chapter 15. Urdhvamulam adashakam ashwattam prahuravyayam. He starts. This tree, the samsara is that upside down tree. Cut it with the sword of detachment. Uttama Purushas Anyaha. The Uttama Purusha, which is the real Tattvamasi, which is the Aham Brahmasmi state, is neither Nirguna, nor Saguna, nor the Karma Yoga, nor any of this. All this is this Uttama Purushas Anyaha, which is far, far beyond all that you can even dream of, imagine, speculate, hallucinate, anything, any word you can use. The Uttama Purusha is the culmination of the Tattvamasi. Having said that, he immediately starts giving some practical tips. The practical tips is chapter 16. Chapter 17, another set of practical tips where he goes on to discussing the menu itself. He will give you the breakfast, lunch, dinner menu also. He gives in chapter 17. Sattvic food, Rajasic food, and Tamasic food. Covers everything. 18th chapter, he says, what all I can give you, I gave you, Arjuna. What all I can teach you, what all I can give you, Arjuna, I have given. Yata ichyasi tata kuru. Now you do. Now you do as you want. Nashto mohat smritir labda tat prasadan mayachyuta. Arjuna says, all my moha is nashta, gone. Nashto mohat. Smritir labda. My memories of all my delusion is gone. My delusion is gone. My moha is gone into nashta. All this by your grace. What? It is your prasad. By your prasad, all this is over. And what happened? What happened after Bhagavad Gita? What happened after Bhagavad Gita? Arjuna started to fight. So, knowledge doesn't take you away from what you have to do. He came to fight. Carefully follow. He came to fight. After gaining the knowledge, he didn't leave fighting and became somebody else. He came to fight. After gaining the knowledge, what he did? He started fighting. Then what is the relevance of knowledge? What is the relevance of knowledge? What knowledge did? It didn't change the fighting. It didn't change anything external. It changed Arjuna. The person who came to fight is not the person who is fighting now. The person who came to fight is not the person who is fighting now. Therefore, what knowledge does? Knowledge will not change the situation. Huh? People come and ask, knowledge use panni how to change the situation. Use the knowledge and how to change the situation, how to change the other. Are you able to follow? Krishna says, knowledge doesn't change the situation. Knowledge changes you. Changes you means the way you see it changes. It changes your perception. It changes your perception. It changes you from situation remains the same. Duryodhana is still the same Duryodhana. Bhishma is still the same Bhishma. Dronacharya is still the same Dronacharya. Fighting is still the same. Killing is still the same. But what changed? This is the Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Before coming to knowledge, you will be doing something. After gaining the knowledge, you will go back and continue to do the same thing only. Nothing will change. Nothing. Then what is the relevance of knowledge here? The doer is changed. The doing doesn't change. The doer is changed. This is Vedanta. Vedanta doesn't change the doing. Vedanta changes the doer. Are you able to follow till now? Oh, karma sannyasa yoga. I started and where I have ended now, and I have to connect also. That is my problem now. Yeah, I have to connect it also. The doing remains the same. The doer changes. Are you okay till now? What is it that changes in the doer? The attitude changes. The attitude changes. What is the attitude that changed in the doer? Kartrutva, Bhoktrutva, Aham Jiva, Aham individual, adalla change aayi. He says, what is he supposed to say? Tattvamasi Purinjavaru. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Jivasmi length, the attitude changes to Aham Brahmasmi. Are you okay? Now, to put it very simply, change of the doer means, see, the sculpture, huh? How do you pronounce that fellow who makes the statue? Sculpturer. I don't know how you pronounce the fellow who makes the statue. So out of the stone, the sculpture makes the statue. So who is the creator and who is the created? Who's the creator? The sculpture is the creator. And who's the created? The deity is that which is created. Correct? Huh? After creating it, the sculpture falls at the feet of the deity. After him creating the deity, he falls at the feet of the deity. What makes him to fall? What has changed that he is falling at the feet of the deity? His attitude has changed. His perception has changed. It's not the stone anymore. It's not the stone anymore. It's deity, God. He will not say, I know it. He will not tell you, and he will not tell himself that it was a piece of stone. I am the one who created it. He will not say that. He will not say that. He himself will fall at the feet of his own creation. Abdinna, two possibilities. Either he is slightly insane or something in him has changed. Vedanta says something in him has changed. What has changed? The attitude has changed. The attitude has changed. Sannyasi is one whose attitude has changed. Sannyasi is one whose attitude has changed. When we go into the verses, we will see all that. When we start going into the verses, we will see all that. This is the entire blueprint of the thought flow of the Bhagavad Gita. Remember this blueprint. Then you will know where everything, remember this blueprint. Then you will know where everything fits in. I'll quickly summarize. Tattvamasi. Bhagavad Gita is nothing but 700 slokas explaining three simple words. Tat, Tvam, Asi. The three words which doesn't require any dictionary reference. The three words which is not confusing at all. You are that. 700 slokas to explain you are that. And then the Tattvamasi is the 18 chapters of the Gita is divided into 3 sets of 6 chapters each. 3 sets of 6 chapters each. The first 6, the middle 6, the last 6. And then from chapter 3 to chapter 6, one flow. From chapter 7 to chapter 12, one flow. From 13 to 15 to 18, another flow. So, where do you start? What he gave it in a capsule form in chapter 2, he elaborated from chapter 3 to chapter 18. Again I repeat, what he gave in a capsule form, what he gave in the classic Vedantic Upanishadic style in chapter 2, he elaborated it from chapter 3 to chapter 18. So much of elaboration because so much of doubts. So much of elaboration because so much of samshaya. Samshaya means so much of elaboration because so much of doubts. What is the doubt? What is the doubt? I know that I am the individual. Suddenly you coming and saying you have I know that I am this body, mind and intellect. I know it. Suddenly you come and say, the Shastras come and say, you are not the body, mind and intellect. Na? You will rely on your authority more than an external authority. What is your authority? Your authority is, what is your authority? Your authority is this. What? I know I am the individual in suffering. I know the individual goes through these fluctuations. I do not want these fluctuations. I want a even balanced life. Are you okay? I want an even balanced life. He says, when you say, I want an even balanced life, now you have accepted one thing about life. What? When you say, I want a balanced life, now one thing about life you have accepted. What? Fluctuations, dvandvas, opposites. Then only you will ask for balanced life. Otherwise, what you will ask for? Always I want labha and no nashta. I always want only profit, no loss. I always want only sukha and no dukkha. Only success and no failure. Clear? You will not ask that. So what you will ask? You will say, I want balance. I want a balanced life. It means what? You are to that extent you have gained the knowledge. What is the knowledge you have gained? Life equals dvandvas, fluctuations. Adu onnu sei mudiyadhu. Then you ask, how do I maintain my balance? How do I maintain my equanimity? How do I maintain my balance? What to do? Gita starts here. Karma yoga, do karma yoga and mature yourself into a sannyasi. How to do? First he has to say, now on the, when we go into the, if at all we go there, and if I remember it, when we go into chapter 7, when we go there, I will discuss the connection there. Now I am discussing only in relation to the 3 to 6, I am discussing the connection. Whenever in future, in this Janma, if we go to chapter 7 and this Janma, if I go to chapter 13, I will say the connection from 7 to 8, 9, 10, 12, adhe mari 13 appo pogumbodhu. Today, I will tell you the connection from chapter 3 to where we are today. First he says, do karma. First he says, do karma. Arjuna will turn back and say, Krishna, I am doing already karma, no? That's why I am a Dhananjaya, no? Why do you think I got the name Dhananjaya? Why do you think because I am the one who's already acting. In fact, you are the one who didn't have any responsibility in life. Responsibility, elder brother ku kuduttu, you are behind him, you are controlling him. So all the thing goes to him. So actually speaking, who should get up and do action? Not me, Krishna, you. So first thing Krishna says to Arjuna, do karma. First thing he says, do karma. But I am already doing karma, no? No, Arjuna, you are not doing karma because all your focus is on how to stop the karma, how to stop action, how to minimize action. Through action, you are not interested in karma, you are interested in minimizing the karma. You are interested in minimizing the karma. So first thing is get rid of that attitude and do karma. Enga nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya akarma krit. Sharira yatra pichate. So first thing he said is do karma. And when I start doing karma, worries, anxieties, and all that comes. So from karma, turn it into karma yoga. From karma, first one is do karma. What is doing karma means? Get rid of the notion that you can take a break from action. That is doing karma. It is a mental attitude. Are you able to follow? Swamiji always says this, no? Weekends, vacations, holidays, all this is akarma. Wanting to move away from action. So first thing is what? Die with your boots on. Die with your boots on. Karma. So from akarma, do karma. Yeah. Akrama illa, akarma. Yeah. From akarma, do karma. And then how to do it? Because when I start doing, so much of worry, anxiety, tension, anxiety about the fruit, so much comes and so much is coming and disturbing and bothering me. What do I do? Verse number 30, the technique of karma yoga. Verse number 30, Vigata Jwaraha, he concluded. Verse number 30, he concluded. Do that. Technique. Okay, all this technique and all is fine. What happens? See, are you gaining the jnanam? What is jnanam now? From karma, from akarma to karma yoga. And in karma yoga, jnanam comes in. Chapter 4. What is jnanam coming in chapter 4? Yajna karma. The words are like engengyo keta madri irukudhu sir, you know. It looks like all these words we have heard somewhere. Angengana edo keta mari, we know these words, we have heard these words, but here now I explain once again everything. After that, again we have to start from chapter 3 down. I'm not going to chapter 3. Chapter 5 down we are going to start. So he says do yajna karma. What is yajna karma? Action has an ideal. What is the ideal for which you are acting? Determine that clearly. Is it a materialistic ideal, or is it an unselfish ideal, or is it Brahman, self-realization? Determine that. If you have determined self-realization as the ideal for action, you have started to do yajna karma. So what happened? The ideal has, the jnanam in action means the ideal has come in. Only when the highest ideal comes in, jnanam has come in. Jnana karma sannyasa yoga. Chapter 4. Jnanam nale, the other word for jnanam is, whenever we use the word jnanam, jnanam is one side of the coin, the other side of the coin is sannyasa. Jnanam and sannyasa goes together. This side jnanam, that side is sannyasa. Are you able to follow? So jnana karma leads to sannyasa. Jnana karma sannyasa yoga. Chapter 4. Chapter 5. Now he is talking about chapter 5. Karma sannyasa. Yoga of renunciation. What is chapter 4? Jnana karma sannyasa yoga. Jnana karma sannyasa yoga is translated as, what is the translation? Yoga of renunciation of action in wisdom. Chapter 4. Chapter 5. Karma sannyasa. What is chapter 5? Renunciation of action. Yoga of renunciation of action in wisdom. Chapter 4. Chapter 5 is karma sannyasa. Karma sannyasa means In English, the yoga of renunciation of action. Thus, we are entering the 5th chapter, having the maturity of chapter 3 and chapter 4. Having gotten the maturity of chapter 3 and chapter 4, we are entering into chapter 5. Are you okay till now? The sequence. This is sequence. I never intended to start like that. The path karma yoga, I just went into that. Now we move into chapter 5. Karma Sannyasa Yoga. As I said, it has 29 verses divided into 4 topics. Chapter 5, Karma Sannyasa Yoga, 29 verses divided into 4 topics. And the 4 topics are verses 1 to 7. Yogi, Sannyasi, Jnani. The sequence. The Yogi, Sannyasi and Jnani. Verses 1 to 7. 8 to 12. How Yogi relates to action. How Sannyasi relates to action. How Jnani relates to action. 13 to 19. Jnani relating to action to that state of supreme being. Verses 13 to 19. 20 to 29. Renunciation precedes meditation and realization. Renunciation precedes meditation and realization. This is the 4 topics of chapter 5. With this, we move into the first verse. Arjuna Uvacha. If you remember, Arjuna asks question, Krishna answers. Some chapters, Krishna himself starts. This chapter, Arjuna is asking a question. The question is Arjuna Uvacha. Verse number 1, chapter 5. Arjuna Uvacha. Sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha samshashi yakshreya yetayorekam tanme bruhi sunischitam. Sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha samshashi yashreya yetayorekam tanme bruhi sunischitam. O Krishna, Arjuna Uvacha, Arjuna said, O Krishna, you praise renunciation of action and again yoga, path of action. Tell me conclusively which of the two is better. Elaborate details. He is taking us back to chapter 3 starting point. He is taking us same question he asked. Same question he asked. Words also he didn't change. That's the beauty of Arjuna. So wonderful is he. So beautiful is Arjuna. He didn't even change the words. He is saying exactly, very clearly. What did he say in chapter 3? Exactly the same thing. You praise knowledge and you praise knowledge. Knowledge in Vedanta means renunciation, sannyas. Always remember, whenever we talk about knowledge, what we mean by knowledge is renunciation. So he says, you are praising sannyas and you are praising action. Sunischitam. Sunischitam na. Clearly tell me. I cannot practice both simultaneously. Sunischitam. Are you able to follow? Sunischitam. Tell me clearly what I should do. Both I cannot practice simultaneously. Kardala konjaneram jnana yoga and then rest of the karma yoga I cannot practice. Tell me clearly what I should. Sunischitam. What I should practice. Sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha samshasi. Punaha yogam. Sannyasam karmanam. You are praising. Where did he praise? Where did he praise knowledge? Where did he praise knowledge? Chapter 4 la yajna karma, 12 yajnas, all those description he gave. Ella solli mudichittu he praised knowledge. Where did he praise knowledge? In two areas he directly praised knowledge. Where, what are the two verses where he praised knowledge? It's a rhetoric question. I will answer. I will answer myself. Where are the two areas he praised knowledge? Of all the yajnas, Svadhyaya Jnana Yajna is the best. And then he said, Shraddhavan labate jnanam. Shraddhavan labate jnanam. And then this fellow, who's the fellow? Ashraddha Dana, the fellow who doesn't have Shraddha. Samshayatma. Samshayatma vinashyati, pranashyati. So, though he is explaining, Krishna is indicating his preferences, which are what Arjuna has misunderstood. Krishna is not indicating his preference. Please understand, this is Arjuna's misunderstanding. That as though, even though he is talking about Karma Yoga and all that, Krishna has a preference to Jnana Yoga is the misinterpretation of Arjuna to Krishna. Arjuna is misinterpreting or misunderstanding what Krishna is saying. For Krishna is very clear. What is his clarity? Jnana yogena sankhyanam, karma yogena yoginam. Don't forget that mantra, like every day repeated 108 times. Jnana yogena sankhyanam, karma yogena yoginam. Jnana yogena sankhyanam, karma yogena yoginam. Arjuna, you talk as though you have a choice. See, when he is asking, the fallacy in the question is as though he has a choice. What is the choice? Choice means two things. Here there is no choice. Choice means two things. Yeah. Classic Varda Vanama choice. You have a choice. You have a choice. Do I come for the class or do I not come for the class? Do I continue or do I not continue? Do I listen or do I not listen? In the dress port the class, you have a choice. In the spiritual path, there is no choice. In the beginning stage, you have to do karma yoga. In the second stage, jnana yoga, meditation, self-realization. It's clearly a laid down path, very clearly. Should I study 10th standard or should I study 12th standard? Will you ask this question? That's what Arjuna is asking. Are you able to follow? Should I study 10th or 12th? 9th standard you have to study in 10th. 11th standard pass panna, you have to study 12th. You have no choice. Are you able to follow that? Are you able to follow what I am saying? As though there is, it is not like you can study 10th, you can study 12th, you can study PhD. All the three are laid out and the child is deciding where to go. It is a sequence. In the sequence, you have to follow the krama. Sequence means, the Sanskrit word for sequence is krama. If you break the krama, it is akrama. Krama means sequence. Akrama means breaking the sequence. Everybody comes and breaks the sequences in their own way. One fellow will come and say, don't worry, bhakti alone will save you. Another fellow will come and say, jnanam alone will save you. Another fellow will come and say, adalla vana class ku mattum vaangu. In the class liye you will get everything. Idalla akrama, breaking the krama. What is the krama? From karma to Karma yoga to yogi to sannyasi to jnani. Arjuna is not having this clarity. We need to have this clarity. If you have this clarity, you will never ask this question, what should I do? See, when you ask this question, what should I do? You are implying there is a choice. As though you have a choice. Are you able to follow this question? Everybody in the spiritual path come and ask this question. What should I follow? Should I go, maybe sometimes do I follow Hatha Yoga also? Ashtanga Yoga also? You have to follow the Krama. What is the Krama? Krama means sequence. Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. Kramana Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. Akramana, Tamil kuda we say no. Akrama. Akrama means breaking the sequence. When you are breaking the sequence, what happens? You do not get the intended result. You will end up getting opposite result. That is where in the second chapter he says, Pratyavayo na vidyate, he says. If you remember in chapter 2, I think verse number 47, I think, chapter 2, Pratyavayo na vidyate. Akrama panna enna, not only you will not get the intended result, you will end up getting the opposite result. Jnana yoga ku vandu humility varthukku badala jnana yoga ku vandu arrogance vandrum. I know under arrogance vandrum. This is akrama. Are you able to follow? Where bhakti yoga panni, where it is all the grace of the God endradhukku badala my God endradhu vandrum. Karma yoga la akrama. What is akrama in karma yoga? The God, Ishvara Anugraha, adallam kadaidu. It's all prayatna. It's all effort only. It's all effort only. What is krama? Effort, Anugraha, Aikya. Idu krama. Purida? This is the sequence. In chapter 5, Krishna will again, with his infinite patience, with his infinite compassion. See, the patience is coming out of compassion. See, when you are becoming impatient, now you have lost compassion. Have you ever noticed when the person is sick, the first day you will be very compassionate. 5th day you will get very angry at the patient. You will get very angry at the sick person. You know why? Because your compassion has gone. Krishna's compassion is infinite. And the infinite compassion lends the infinite energy. From that infinite compassion comes that infinite energy. What is that infinite energy? As though he is asking the question for the first time, he will answer all over again. See that? Oh my God. You understand, the person answering he knows something which is too different from what all we can conceive of. 18th chapter he will ask the same question. Not only in chapter 5, he will not stop. In the 18th chapter, he asks the same question. Tyaga or sannyasa or Krishna? Tyaga means yoga, sannyasa means sannyasa. Very clear. Even 18th chapter, he keeps asking the same question. Carefully follow. Question is the same, answers are becoming different. It means what? Arjuna, even though word-wise he is asking the same question, internally he is not the same. That is why answers are changing. If he is the same, Krishna must rewind. Yeah. Illana rewind kuda pannama, he will call Venkat and say, and the chapter 3 recording la vechirka. இருக்குது, அதை போட்டு விடுங்கப்பா, அவ்வளவுதான். திருப்பி திருப்பி இதே கேள்வி கேட்டு இருப்பாங்க, இதே போட்டு விடுங்க அந்த ரெக்கார்டிங். Are you able to follow? No. Question, the word seems to be the same. The answers he is giving is different. It means what? It means what? There is a change. There is a change in him internally, which as the Guru, Krishna is able to spot. As the Guru, Krishna is able to spot that and he is able to answer. இதெல்லாம் நம்ம அப்சர்வ் பண்ணிருந்திருக்கணும். Question is the same, but answers are so different. Means what? He is bringing in another angle because Arjuna is mature to look at it from that angle. And then he will ask the question. Because of his lack of vocabulary, because of not knowing how to ask, he keeps repeating the same word. Are you able to follow Arjuna? That is why we say Arjuna is a very wonderful student. Even though as a joke we keep mocking Arjuna, he doesn't deserve our mocking. If we are really mocking at him now, we have not understood him clearly. Why? The words are the same, but what he is asking through that is different. So what Krishna does, he starts giving different answers. So what is the question that he is asking now? You praise renunciation of action, and you also praise, you are praising sannyasa, and you are praising doing. Arjuna still believing sannyasa as an action. Arjuna has not matured to understand sannyasa is not an action, sannyasa is an attitude. Because even in sannyasa you have to act. So action is not going to change. What Arjuna is thinking is sannyasa means dropping action. இதுவே டைட்டில் renunciation of action clear print அடிச்சிருக்குதே சார். Renunciation of action, it is printed. How can you say this? How can you account for this explanation? Are you able to follow? How can you give this explanation? The answers that Krishna gives makes it clear. I'm not going into the answer today. Answer next class tha. And we know the answer already. Yeah, chapter 2 liye ella answering kuduttaru avarda. So we know the answer already. Idu vandu episode 1 episode 2 மாதிரி கிடையாது. Climax விட்டுட்டு அடுத்த வாரம் வரைக்கும் we have to be anxious for answer we know already. The explanation of the answer we will do next week. Today we are discussing only the question. What is good for me, karma or jnanam? That's the question. What is good for me, karma or jnanam? You glorify sannyasi and jnani, but you are asking me to do something else. Idenna clear bonga irukudhe, he is saying. You are glorifying sannyasi and jnani, but you are asking me to do karma. Yat shreyaha. Etayoho yat shreyaha. Etayeho between these two. Yat shreyaha. Yat shreyaha means which is Shreyas. Exactly the same word which he used in chapter Shreya, Shreyoham apnuyam. He said in chapter 3. Chapter 5 also he is using the same word Shreyaha. That which gives me Shreyas. Which is Bruhi tell me. Bruhi, tell me. Krishna, when you are telling me, tell me conclusively. Sunischitam, when you are telling me, tell me clearly, conclusively. In the study class, la mati pesara madri, don't. Yeah. Anga pesara madri, don't say. Tell me, sunischitam, bruhi sunischitam. Tell me clearly. It means what? Again, Krishna starts explaining the sequence of spiritual development. Again, Krishna is going to start explaining the sequence of spiritual development. What is the sequence of spiritual development? Yogi, sannyasi, and jnani. Yogi, sannyasi, and jnani. In this, a karma yogi is maturing himself to develop maturity in solla vanda appdi grammatically solla mudiyuma theriyala, but that is what it is. He is maturing himself to get to that maturity. What is the maturity? To understand what sannyas is, to understand what renunciation is. In Vedanta treatise, he said it very clearly. Another word for Vedanta is renunciation. Vedanta and renunciation are two sides to the same coin. Vedanta means renunciation. Vedanta means knowledge. Knowledge means renunciation, sannyas. The word sannyas and all that we'll discuss next week. The root of the word sannyas and how does the word has brought about this tremendous misunderstanding of leaving and all that, I'll say next one. Today, the question. What is the question? Sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha samshashi yashreya yetayorekam tanme bruhi sunischitam. Tanme bruhi sunischitam. To a worldly person, karma yoga will be glorified. To a person who is doing karma yoga, jnana yoga will be glorified. To a jnani, self-realization will be glorified. Are you able to follow? To a worldly person, karma yoga will be glorified. Because when you are glorifying something means fixing that as an ideal is important. Are you able to follow? When you glorify something, what are you saying? Keep this as your ideal. That's what is implied when you glorify something. He's a great man. Abdina, what do you mean? He becomes the ideal and you have to become him. So when you are glorifying something, when you are glorifying, what is it that you glorify? The ideal is glorified. So for a worldly person, glorifying self-realization has no, to a worldly person, glorifying self-realization has no meaning. Therefore, what do? They glorify karma yoga. So what you see in verses 10, 9, 10, 11 of chapter 3, you find karma yoga glorified. Parasparam bhavayantaha, he said. If you remember, verse number 10, 11 of chapter 3, he says, Parasparam bhavayantaha. You satisfy the gods satisfy you. Parasparam bhavayantaha, satisfying one another, you lead a blessed life. Karma yoga is praised. Unselfishness is praised. To a person who is unselfish, you can't praise unselfishness again. You need to lift him up. So what he does, sannyasa will be practiced. Sannyasa will be praised. To a sannyasi like Janaka, To a sannyasi like Nachiketas, what will be praised? What will be praised? The la apara, there is para. All this is apara, there is para. Are you okay till now? ஒரே கிளாஸ்லயே 4 பேரும் உட்கார்ந்தா becomes a problem. ஒரே கிளாஸ்ல 4 பேரும் உட்கார்ந்தா becomes a problem, because they will say, why are you saying one to one person and me something? Comparison will start. Why are you saying this to this person and why me, partially, all that kind of, all this will come in. Are you able to follow? All this will come in. Here Arjuna is having the same comparison problem. He is having the same comparison problem. What is the comparison problem? You praise the jnani, you praise that fellow, and when I say I want to become him, you are saying, go back. What are you telling me? Sishyasteham shadimam tvam prapanam, I have surrendered to you. And what are you talking? What are you talking? Alternatively, not being very, not telling me clearly what I should do. You can relate to Arjuna's frustration if you speak to a guru. You speak to a guru, looks like he is telling you something, and then finally when he concludes, you really don't know what he asked you to. You really don't know what he asked you to do. It is very. Arjuna in the same situation telling Krishna, clearly tell me, because Shraddhavan labate jnanam, you said. Shraddhavan labate jnanam, you said. Also you said Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna is the best. Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna is the best. Na battlefield, how can I do Swadhyaya? That is Arjuna's. Are you able to follow? Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna is the best. Na I should go and sit in some Himalayan caves. Angada Swadhyaya panna mudiyum. And you said that is the best. Swadhyaya is the best. You have said it very clearly. And do Swadhyaya with Shraddha, you will gain knowledge, you said. How is it possible in the battlefield? In the Grihastha Ashramathila, veetla irukumbodhu, how all this is? Are you able to follow our problem? Our problem is not the battlefield. Our problem is our situation now. Being in the Grihastha Ashrama, being in this worldly life, being with the family and all that, how can I practice all this? Therefore, if I have to do with Shraddha and all that, what I should do? Leave this and go. Krishna, you also come with me. And anga vandu, you only have to clear my doubts. You also come with me. I will leave and you also come with me. Solution is very simple. Solution for Arjuna is very simple. Krishna starts the answer. When I say all over again, means he starts off at a different level. Every time he asks the question, the answer is started off at a different level. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, next class, not today. For today, chapter 5, Arjuna's question. What is the question? Sanyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha samshasi yachreya yetayo rekam tanme bruhi sunischitam. Chapter 3, he said Prajnavadamsya Bhashase. Chapter 3, he said Prajnavadamsya Bhashase. Inga Sunischitam. Prajnavadamsya Bhashasena. I have explained it. Prajnavadamsya Bhashase. Na Mati Pesardi. That is Prajnavadam. Now he is saying Sunischitam. Tell me clearly. Tell me clearly. Na, are you clear, Krishna? Yeah, I have surrendered to you because I assumed you have the clarity. Nee mati mati pesarada paatha looks like you yourself is not so clear. So tell me conclusively what I should do. Should I do karma or do I do my duty? Do I stop doing my duty or do I do my duty? That's the question. Are you able to follow now? What is Arjuna's question? Do I stop doing my duty or do I do my duty? In the duty என்றது எப்பதான் நிக்கும்? When all this duty will? Duty எல்லாம் okay sir, but என்னைக்கு அது இல்லையா அப்படி இல்லையா கமிஷனர் தலையிலே கை வச்சுக்கிட்டாங்க இல்லையா when this duty will stop. So do I do my duty or do I stop it? This is Arjuna's question. Next class we will see what is Krishna's answer. With this we conclude for today. Just seeing and more, it looks like there are no questions today. இவ்வளோ தெளிவா பேசினா question வரும் சார். இன்னைக்கு you confused so much that we really don't know what. It's like a tsunami wave just came and swept us off completely. No question to, no clarification, no question to ask for today. Very good. Abada. Venkat, breakfast டைத்துக்கு போயிடலாம் இன்னைக்கு. We will go on time today. Krishna's answer we continue next week.